Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and in my hands I have the brand new Goosky E2 GPS. Now if you look up in the corner, you'll see a thumbnail of my review video from 9 months ago of the Goosky E2 Venom. That helicopter is designed for pilots that can fly helicopters. This one is designed for newbie pilots. So if you're a guy who flies helicopters all the time and you have really good helicopter pilot skills, you might want to go watch that video and get that Goosky. It's pretty much the same price as this one, but it's really designed for pro pilots. But today we're going to talk about this one, which is designed for newbies, beginners, or people who have never flown a helicopter before. And the great thing is, if you come from the drone world, say you fly something like DJI drones, well, then you'll be right at home with this because it flies exactly the same. What I mean by that is when you have the remote in your hands and you move the controls in the way you would do it with a drone, it reacts the same way. And when you release the joysticks to scratch your nose or do something else, it doesn't fall out of the air. It just sits in the air waiting for your next command. You're going to see it in my review. Now I'll show you this helicopter, the new version, sitting next to the old version, and you can see they're identical in look, except for the colors. The new version's obviously red and white, and they've extended that red and white color to the blades on top as well as the prop and the tail rotor. And you can see with the old version, there's a bunch of holes in the bottom where there should be optical flow, there should be LiDAR, but it doesn't exist. And now in this new version, the red and white one, you can see the optical flow and the LiDAR as well. There's a GPS built in. As well, the remote on the previous one, you had to get the remote in either a mode 2 or a mode 1 because the throttle joystick fell to the bottom. But this one, designed for beginners, the joysticks sit right in the center, just like all beginner drones do. Also on this version, they did a good job of labeling the switches, but these little white strips you see here, these are my labels because my eyesight's not that great, so when I'm out in the bright sun, I can't look really close to see what it says. This version uses the same 3S batteries as the previous version, but this version comes with the battery charger. The previous version, you have to be in the RC hobby, own your own battery charger, but with this version, it comes in the box. You get a battery charger with the battery. And this version, you can get it with 2 or 3 batteries, and each battery gives you 15 minutes of flight time. But the greatest thing is these batteries, you can buy them on Amazon if you wish. You can use any type of 3S battery with an XT30 plug. The batteries are not proprietary. So that's why everybody loves Goosky. All right, so enough talking. I'm going to show you my flight of this indoors. Yes, you can fly it indoors because it is a beginner heli. So with the optical flow and the LiDAR and everything, you can fly it indoors, no problem. So I'll show you that. And then I'll take it outdoors and I'll fly it in super strong winds. I didn't plan to fly it in strong winds, but I took it out on a very windy day. This thing flies like a champ. And then after all that, I will show you what comes in the box. It does come with a box back here. You can see a hard case, a storage case, as well as the box. I'll show you everything you get. And then after that, I will tell you a bit more about this and give you my positives and negatives. So watch all that, then come back to me. Here I am indoors. I have no idea what's going wrong with my camera. I just set it up to film indoors and now it's exposed for me, but in the background here, everything looks like I have a floodlight happening. There's no floodlight. I do have little lights on the side right there. Those are photography lights to light up the ground. Because when you fly anything indoors that uses optical flow, which is a camera on the bottom of the device you're using, it has to see the ground. And if it can't see the ground, it can't lock on to a pattern. Now for an indoor flight, you have to set all your switches correctly. So let's do this. Push them all away from us. And then let's take a look at this lock switch, which is this one over here. Pull it towards you because if you leave it down, that unlocks the motors. Next over here, this switch over here, first mode is GPS, followed by visual, followed by manual mode. So we want to go in visual mode because we have no GPS indoors. So let's move this switch into the center. There we go. Now we're ready to fly. So let's power this on. Just press these 2 buttons down at once and it powers on and release. Next, take our helicopter, put the battery in the forward section and then just plug it in. And there we go. Put it down, let it initialize itself. Come on, you can do it. One more time. There we go. That's good. Put the canopy on. Now, if you make a mistake and you leave this on GPS, it doesn't matter. It's going to try to search for a GPS, but it will never find one. So now to start your motors, take this switch, put it on unlock all the way down. There we go. Pull these joysticks down and in. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Release them, and she spins up. Here we go. Little scary indoors, but you can still fly it indoors. And then to go up, you take the left joystick and move it up. There we are. And now you hope that the optical flow has locked onto the bottom. If it has, then I can not touch the joysticks. There we go, you see? I'm not touching anything. I'm walking around this baby and it is sitting there in the air. Anybody who wants to try this indoors, make sure you have a big indoor space. Right now, this space is very small, so these blades produce a lot of wind, and that wind is bouncing off the floor, the walls, everything. So it's pushing this guy all over the place, but it's doing a good job staying stable. And I can move it forward, and I can move it backwards. I'm not moving it very much, and I can move it side to side. I can turn it. I don't want to fly it too much in here because if a blade hits a wall, it's going to leave a mark and my wife's going to be very upset. All right, so this was just to show you can fly it indoors. Outdoors is a lot more fun. To bring it down and land it, just pull the left joystick down nice and slow. Put it over the landing pad as you wish, like this. And then push it all the way to the ground. And when it hits the ground, go to the lock switch here and lock the motors so they can't start back up. And that is flying indoors. Welcome to the outdoor portion of this video. So I've got the E2 down here and I've picked the worst morning. You can see the sun is behind the clouds. It's kind of hazy because we have forest fires happening. In addition, there's a pretty strong breeze blowing right on my back, which is going to mess up the helicopter a little bit, but also it's going to let us see how well it flies in the wind. So without talking anymore, let's get started. First things first, let's power on our remote, press the two buttons. Comes to life. After you power on your remote, then you want to make sure the switches on this side are pushed to the front. So this one all the way forward, this one all the way down. And the switches on this side, this one all the way forward, and this one all the way up. When you push it up, that's on lock. It means the motors won't spin. Next, we'll take off the canopy, just squeeze the front and it comes right out. Slide your battery in. I'll try to show you this in my hat cam. So here's the battery. Slide it in the front like that. Take this little power cable, this is the voltage cable, plug it in, and let me just get it the right way, plug it in, I had it the right way the first time, and then put it down, let the gyro do its thing. These little blades are going to move by themselves, so I'm going to stare at them. They'll move, and after they move, you can put the canopy on. So it should do it one more time, a little bit. There we go. And then just take this canopy and put it on. My God, it's windy out here. This is the worst. This is the worst day to be flying. Woohoo! I fear this helicopter is going to fly up and then just be pushed by the wind way out there and I'm going to lose it. Well, we'll see. So then the next thing you do after you do all that gyro calibration is you take a look at the top and you want to see a green light. The reason you want to see the green light is because it has a GPS in it, a very modern GPS. So it gets satellites very fast no matter where you are in the world. And if I look down, hopefully my hat cam shows it here, but there's a green light right where I'm pointing, right back here. Solid green, that's what you want. If you see flashing green, it's just acquiring the satellites, but it's got them. So it's ready to fly. Now, something I do in all my videos is I put a camera on the side. So I'm just going to stick a camera on the door here, just like that. Usually I try to stick the camera someplace where the rotor is, because that is the CG, right where a rotor is. So what I'm placing on the heli right now is just called alien tape. Alien tape is just double-sided tape. And then I take our camera and I face it in the direction I want it to record. Someplace where the blades on top won't hit it. There we go. Just put it on. It will stay on there nice and tight. Okay, you can see me back here. The wind is blowing right in my face, so it's on my back, so it's going to hit this heli when it goes up and it's going to push it that way, so I have to be careful. Now to fly this baby, I just take this switch over here that was on lock and switch it to unlock, take these joysticks and pull them down and in, and you'll see the tail prop spin, and then the main rotors will start spinning. Release the joysticks, and here we go. All right, in the wind, flying this baby. How does it fly? Let's go up. Just take the left joystick and move it up a bit, and she'll go up. Nice. There we are. It's in the wind, so GPS is acting on it as well as optical flow and everything else. Come close to it. Look at it. It's stable in the air. The wind is blowing. It's on a bit of an angle. You can see it bouncing in the wind. All right, here we go. Going forward. And then turning. And then whizzing around. And then turning again. So this is in the wind. I don't know how many reviewers have flown this thing in strong winds, but this is in strong winds. It's flying really well. I don't even notice the wind when I'm flying. Only when you're hovering you'll notice the wind, because the heli will sit on an angle. So let's slow down. Let's bring it back here. Get this camera looking at me. So I'm staring at the heli, and it's in the wind right now, fighting the wind. But look at it, it's doing really well. The little camera on the side, it's not bothering it. So everybody's gonna ask, could a beginner with no skills fly this? Yes, you could, but don't bring it out on a windy day like me. All right, so let's see what these other switches do. So if I'm not mistaken, let's see, I'll get this someplace where I can see it happening. Right here, I have this switch. At the very top, you left it at that is GPS. The next one down looks like vision only for indoors. Let's see what happens if I put in the next switch. Here we go, 5, with the wind blowing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. If that's vision only, it's doing well. It's staying really cool. So let's make sure it is vision. Let's take it up. Vision only works to a certain height. There we go. It's not letting me go higher. There we go. I'm stuck at that height with vision. Let's see if I put GPS on. I can go way up. Yeah, the vision is the LiDAR and the optical flow. But I'm surprised on vision that it's locked onto the ground and not moving in the wind. That means it's got better vision control than most helis on the market. That's like astounding. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let's try the next one. If I read this next one correctly, it's manual mode. See if it goes into manual mode. I'll flick it back up in case it goes crazy. So manual. Yeah, so manual, there's no sensors. You see, it's gone. That's not me doing it. The wind is taking it, so I have to know how to fly a heli to get it back. So there we go, I can bring it back. So the good thing about manual, mostly in helicopters, is that when you go in manual mode, you have no vision sensor, you have no optical flow, you have nothing. So you can go really fast. Let me go full blast. There we go, that's high speed. I'll bring it back and be high speed. Oh, it takes a while to stop when you're in manual because there's nothing to stop it. Coming by, full speed. There we go. Let me put you back onto GPS mode and I'll show you the difference. It takes a while. Okay, so here we go. I gotta show you. This is GPS going overhead. A little slower. See, it's taking a while to get back here. I'm on full speed. Look at how slow it goes in GPS mode. There you go. That's full speed in GPS mode. Okay, let's bring it down and let's see. I gotta say vision mode's gonna be just as slow. So let's try vision mode. Okay, full speed. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Yeah, that's max speed. Look at it go. That's not very fast. All right, and then just once again to show you, I'll put it over here and we'll switch it to manual, and that's all the way down. Manual, and here we go. She's going like a bat out of hell. Look at that. And I can even, oh my God, look at this thing go. This is insane. That's a lot of fun at that speed. And that's in the wind. I'm going into the wind, by the wind, everything. Oh, and watch this, watch the brakes. As soon as it comes back, I'll put it on GPS mode right now. There we go. That's just like a braking system, locks it in. And look at this bird up there. All right, the last thing we're gonna try really quick is return to home. So let me just go over here. I'll just go about, let's go, since I have a camera on it, let's go all the way over to the splash park. Oh my God, I'm going against the wind. Oh, it is blowing something fierce. So I'm gonna put on return to home, which is this switch over here. So I'll hit return to home and it should go up and come back to me and try to land in the wind. So I'm gonna try to watch it. Is it gonna spin around? Yeah, it's spinning around. It's coming back to me. And let's come on down and land. Going up, and coming down, where are you gonna land? It's up there, coming down. It's coming down, nice and slow, coming down. I'll go beside it, coming down. Look at that, look at how close it is to the landing pad. Oh, look at this. That's ridiculously close, so I tell you, the GPS in here is very advanced. That's really good. Here we have the box the E2 GPS arrives in. Inside the box you'll find the storage case. Inside the storage case you'll find the Heli, the remote, and all the accessories. Now let's take a few seconds to have a look at how detailed this Heli is. Looking underneath the nose of the Heli, you'll find the optical flow, and looking a little bit to the rear of the Heli, you will find the LiDAR. Both cargo doors open for a nice scale effect. You will note that the 4 blades are not installed. You will have to install them. In addition, the tail rotor is not installed. You will have to install it. The blades as well as the tail rotor are easily installed because all the hardware is provided, as well as a set of tools. When you install the blades and the tail rotor, then your Heli looks like this. If desired, you can install a set of rocket launchers on either side of the Heli, and they connect right here. In the kit you'll find 2 batteries or 3 batteries, as well as a battery charger. You'll also find a very basic radio, and the switches are labeled. The radio is designed for beginners, so the joysticks sit in the middle. As well, the radio is rechargeable, no batteries required. And finally, a quick start guide is also included. Alright, so you're back to me. Now if you take this Heli and you put a battery in it and you put it on a scale, well, it is over 250 grams. Now you saw this fly out in the wind and it did extremely well. Well, that's because it has brushless motors, but not just any type of brushless motors. Out of all the Helis this size, this is pretty much the only one this detailed that comes with a direct drive brushless motor, which means you have super smooth takeoff and super powerful in the air. And everything's metal, CNC metal, you know, like the rotor head, the swash plate, the rod that connects everything right to the motor. It's all metal. Even the servos inside are metal gear digital servos, so it can handle quite well outdoors in the wind. So my positives are everything you need to fly is included in the kit, as you saw in the unboxing. There's nothing else you need, and you get a good flight time with 1 or 2 batteries. I only have 2 batteries with mine, and it was more than enough flight time. Second positive is, out of all the Helis this size, this is easily the most powerful of every Heli I have reviewed that is this size, because it has a direct drive motor, no gearing. Another positive is the red and white, super easy to see in the sky. It doesn't matter if it's super sunny out or cloudy. Red and white are really good colors for viewing something in the sky. Last positive is it is designed for beginners, and I like that they've taken all the safety precautions with this Heli. So it's got really good LiDAR on the bottom, altitude hold, GPS, optical flow. It's really good. And when it comes to negatives, normally I always say the negative would be the price, but this, you know, it's priced quite reasonably. It's at a good price. Just compare it with other Helis this size with these features, and you'll see the price is actually decent. All right, if you have questions on this Heli, post them below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate that very much, and I will catch you in a future video with many cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye!